Well, we're here with the B-25 of the Royal Netherlands Air Force Historic Flight. Fantastic looking aircraft, and Bart, I gather this is the machine you work on.
Yeah, it's my lady. She's an old one right now. She needs some serious maintenance, but we managed to do a lot this year and now finishing up. So
now, a bit of backstory with this aircraft. I mean, the paint scheme, not one we commonly see on a B-25. I believe these were in the Pacific, based in Australia?
yes, correct. Yeah, the B-25 that's now in this color scheme. She flew with the 18th Squadron, and the Japanese invaded the Dutch Indies, now Indonesia. And they needed a new place to fly from, so they went to Australia. Yeah, and they flew from Gold and Bachelor, the Air Force bases. And you see a G version. It's a B-25G. It's modified, and the actually plane that she's presenting was a D model. And yeah, something that stands out right away is the girl on the side. Normally there would be another paint scheme that's on the other side, the two C's.
So there's a bit of a story here with this.
Yeah, it was the girl from the pilot, Corey Cato, and on the other side is the two C's. And after a while they figured out, oh well, the Americans have naked girls on the plane, so we want it as well. So they painted one on, and Serena was the name of a girl in the neighborhood, and Pleasure is Pleasure Sir. I think you can figure out what kind of girl that was. And was there for just 2 weeks or 2 months, and then they needed to remove it because the Dutch army guys don't like naked women on their aircraft. So yeah, that's sad, but we managed to paint it on again just to honor the 18th Squadron.
That's quite fantastic. I mean, when we talk about the B-25, a lot of people will think, especially if it's service with the US Army Air Force, but they don't think of them in Dutch service, actually in Dutch colours, fighting in Australia during the Second World War.
Yeah, we from all the aircraft that the Dutch had, from now on, the most of them was B-25s. Over 350 B-25s we had. With just 2 squadrons, the 320 Squadron. They operated from England, and afterwards it was a Navy Squadron, and the 18th Squadron, and they operated then from Australia, and then afterwards from Indonesia again.
And so this particular airframe, has it got any history?
Yeah, it's an old American aircraft, and they after they built it, it's right away they made it a trainee aircraft. So you have 2 seats more in the back of the 2 pilots. So then the trainees could sit there and then swap places with one of the guys that was flying the aircraft. And the good thing is, it didn't see war, so it's in a very good shape. You can imagine, and you do some fighting and you pull some G's. The airframe doesn't like it, so that's a good thing actually.
And so now it's something of the flagship for the historical flight here.
Yeah, we have 21 aircraft, and this is the biggest one we have. And you don't see many of them in Europe. There's one from Red Bull, there's another one coming.
Another one, we're looking forward to seeing that one come over.
Yeah, and we're the only other one that's over here, and you will hear it. When you hear other aircraft, they are singing, and this is just the raw sound of a radial engine, and yeah.
So a lot of maintenance being carried out right now to put the aircraft back in the air. I believe it's been on the ground for many years.
Yeah, it's now I think 3 years. We had Corona, so then we had to wait for a while, and I think 1 year ago we started again, and we found many things. They said, okay, we want to fly her, but do some good maintenance. We're out for a while, and just check everything. So we found a lot of things. So that's a good thing that we found them. And we have a very young group. We had some older people before.
Good to see.
Yeah, and the older people, they're still there, but they finished working. They thought, well, we're too old. Now I'm 35, and one of the most experienced one other guy that's working on this aircraft. So that's a very young group.
That's very good. That's very good to hear. It is a shame that the average age in the warbird community is obviously advancing, and we need more young blood than ever.
Yeah.
So what sort of work is being carried out at the moment on the aircraft?
Well, we found some corrosion in the rudder, so that's a bigger, difficult thing. We need to remake some parts, or let them remake, and find some parts. We had some rework in the cockpit. We inspected it, removed everything, and then, before placing it back, do a repaint and everything. The engine, we have 2 cylinders. There are some cracks in it and some exhaust stacks that are coming off. So we need to replace them. So that's one of the bigger things. And then a lot of sheet metal. So yeah. A nice thing to see is you see the Dutch flag. We flew in the war from the Dutch Indies with the Dutch flag. Before we had orange balls on the side, big orange balls, and you can imagine the Japanese
risk
had
of confusion with the Japanese. So
yeah, exactly.
This is as the aircraft would have flown in wartime.
Exactly, yeah. So with a Dutch flag on it, and one of the most great stories is, and I met one of the girls that was down there, is they flew this aircraft with a much bigger Dutch flag on the side over a Japanese camp where all the women and Dutch guys were, that were after occupation. They went into camps and they flew over just to let the guys know, spread some pamphlets down from hold on, we know you're here, and we're gonna liberate you, but just hold on. And then they had large loudspeakers on the side of the aircraft, and they
actually
fitted in, yeah. And they shouted to are still one of the girls, Yeti, is he still down there? Is he alive? And then the girls downstairs making the word yes to let the pilots know that their girl is still alive. So that's one of the most great stories. And then there are pictures from the aircraft, and there are huge Dutch flags on the side and on the bottom of the aircraft. So and I met one of the girls that was down there, and that's amazing. Flying these aircraft is amazing, but those stories with those people, it's something. It's becoming real. Yeah.
Now that's amazing. I think we last saw the aircraft in the United Kingdom, possibly when it was in. It had the markings of the Dutch RAF squadron.
Exactly, 320. Yeah. And before we had the painting in a RAF color scheme. I think for 5, 6, or maybe 7 years, not that long, because afterwards she's flying like this and she needs a little repaint. So I think we're gonna go back to the 320 to under them again, and maybe a new pin-up on the nose. They have great ones. So the bomb bay is actually quite small. I don't know if you have enough light to see it, but it's normally a little bit more than halfway there. So 3,000 pound bombs is the most you can carry, and normally they would take with them smaller ones. And now the top of the bomb bay is removed, and we have a old platform that you could place in the bomb bay. Yeah, normally it was for an extra fuel tank to fly the long distance from Australia to the Dutch Indies. And now we remove the tank and just place some suitcase on when we go to an air show or for a long trip. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
This thing I never seen it before in a B-25, so I think we're the only one operating with it right now.
It's great to see the work that you guys are doing on it, and we really look forward to having it back on the display circuit. And I mean, especially 80 years of liberation.
Yeah, exactly. Should be doable. August, September, with all the parts, should be doable. So.
Well, thank you very much, Bart.
Hey, cheers.